Good evening, everybody. My name is Albert Spiegel. I'm class of 95, and I'm the assistant principal for instructional technology. I'm glad you can be with us for our second installment of Tech Tuesday. Tonight we're going to talk about PowerSchool and Naviance. We're going to do a little bit of recap and certainly answer all of your questions or anything that you have, you need help with. Remember that we're here to help, right? We're here to make sure that everything we get squared away before school starts, right? We've got plenty of time to do that, but I want you to feel comfortable walking in the first day of school knowing how to access PowerSchool and Blackboard and everything, and know how to use your computer and all that stuff that's really important, okay? So that's why we're providing all these Tech Tuesdays throughout the summer to give you bits and pieces, all right? So tonight we're going to look at, we'll recap what we talked about 2 weeks ago, and we'll also talk about PowerSchool and we'll talk about Naviance. So with that, I think we're ready to get started. Let me start that over here. Okay, so we are going to, the first thing we'll talk about tonight is, let me go over what we talked about 2 weeks ago. What we are in the process of doing, every time we do one of these Tech Tuesdays, I have a playlist on our BCTV YouTube channel, so you'll be able to watch them. So I'm recording, what I'm doing now is, I'm not recording. I'm going to make sure I'm going to record. There we go. So we're going to, you can watch any of them at your leisure. So if you missed them, if you missed one, it's no big deal. We're recording them all. And you have the slides for tonight. And you also have the ability to get the slides from each of the previous, episodes. So I don't want you to feel like you missed anything. All right. Before I move forward, I just want to see, I don't see Mr. Burles, but Eamon Bednarsik and Frank Barrios are two of my graduate student employees who are both alums as of, I guess, 3 weeks ago. And if you have questions, you will be able to, ask them if they've had questions. Throw it in the chat, and they'll be able to respond to you privately or let me know. The presentation, and as I see chat questions as well, I'll throw them out there. These slides are in presentation mode. We are running in presentation mode. At least that's what I'm seeing on the stream, and that's what I'm seeing on my screen. So I don't know if anybody's seeing anything different, but what I'm looking at on my screen is in presentation mode. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to recap what we did last time. As I said to you, our tech support office, our IT office is open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 1. So if you have questions, concerns, if you have you need help with any of your accounts, you're going to reach out to helpdesk@burncatholic.org. That's your first stop. Mr. Burles manages the tech support center, and we always have someone like Eamon or Frank is there in person every day to answer the help desk emails. If you need to come in, you don't need an appointment. If you have questions for us, please feel free to come in or email, or if we need to get on the Zoom with you, that's fine. Again, as I said the last time, ideally we want to get everybody's questions answered. We want to get everybody on board before the first day of school. So we're not, 2 years ago we would have done all this on the first day of school, but now we're getting all of it done ahead of time, so you're ready for the first day of school. All right. Just a reminder about devices. I think just about everybody made their order and chose what devices, if they want to bring their own or if they're going to use what we have. The order is our initial order is on its way. We'll have it hopefully this week, which means we'll be able to start prepping next week. So hopefully towards the end of July, we'll be able to get these devices out to you, which I want to get them in your hands so you can work with them and feel comfortable with them, so that by the time we get to the end of the summer, you're all fully ready to go. Okay. So just as a reminder, these are the 4 devices that are available, or the 4 options rather that are available. You should have all made that choice already. In your July statement on TADS, you will see the correct the billing information. So if you chose our bundle or you're bringing your own or one or the other, that amount will be reflected in the July statement on tax. All right. Just another reminder too about ID cards. If you haven't sent that picture in, please send it in to Help Desk at Bergen Catholic. I just need a headshot. Headshot, ideally against a white wall, ideally in a red golf shirt. Doesn't have to be. Okay. Ideally, in a perfect world. Okay. If you don't have a red shirt, you don't have a red Bergen shirt, it's fine. But ideally, a headshot on a white wall. That's kind of what I have. So I want to make sure that we can get your ID cards ready. And if we get them fast enough, we'll get them out to you when you pick up your devices. That's our hope too. One less thing we have to try and hand out on the first day of school. All right, we want your first day to be really seamless. So we want you to come wearing your ID card, not have to wait to get it handed out and so forth. Okay. So, and again, if you're using an iPhone, please make sure it's a turn off live pic. We need it to be either a JPEG. Really, it needs to be a JPEG. We can convert them, but ideally, if we don't have to, that would be great. Just a couple of questions that I'm seeing in the chat. They're coming to me as direct messages. The bookstore, Mr. Powers will announce hours when he'll be available for sales. Generally, the last 2 weeks of August is when he does all his sales and whatnot. Normally, we do that in the physics lab, but as of today, there is no physics lab and there's no chemistry lab. It's a big empty room. We're in the process of renovating both labs. And interesting, since some of that hardware has been the original since 1955. So some of it was due for an upgrade. The password I created last time, if you're thinking about your email password, you can directly send a message to either Frank or Eamon, and they'll be able to help you out if you're having a question about your email password. All right. And the ID card deadline is July 7th. So let's try and get those in, please, if you haven't done them yet already. It literally would take you 30 seconds to take a picture and email it. All right. All right. So let's start talking about PowerSchool. PowerSchool is your student information system. Okay. And that is where you'll find information about grades, like your quarter grades and attendance and your schedules and your placements. Okay. That stuff has not yet been released. All right. We're targeting, I'd say, in the next week, hopefully or so, to release your placements for next year. Now, you probably saw a draft of them already. Some of you back in, I think, in early May, we sent them out. So you'll see them, we'll send them out when we send out the access to PowerSchool. And then at the end of the summer, we'll send out your teachers and your course your actual schedule. And then one of the Tech Tuesdays, I'll cover how to read that and how to go through your schedule. Okay. So it's not difficult, but you do the cycle once and it kind of just becomes pretty easy. Okay. So when you get on to PowerSchool, okay, the portal address is bergencatholic.powerschool.com. Okay. And this, I probably should have put that email first, but I sent to you today your credentials for PowerSchool, and I sent your credentials for Naviance for your parents. And if you, I also sent your original Gmail as well. So I sent them about maybe 1 o'clock today to your student email, and your student email, as well as any parent information that I had. Okay. So when you go on to PowerSchool, you are logging in with your first initial, your full last name, and the number 25. Should be the same as your email. Okay. So that's your username for PowerSchool. Your initial password is the word Bergen. It's all lowercase, right? One word. When you sign in with that, it's going to force you to change your password. Okay, the only thing it has to be is at least 8 characters. Okay, so your current password would be Bergen. Okay. And then your new password, you choose whatever you want to be. Okay. Now, this is just student access. This is not parent access yet. Okay, parents are different. Okay, if you're looking again for help, helpdesk@bergencatholic.org. Or Frank and Eamon are both on the call, and they'll be able to help you out because some of this is coming just to me. Okay. All right. So again, you're logging with your first initial, full last name, number 25, and then your initial password is Bergen. Okay. If you are a parent, okay, it's different. If you're a parent, you're going to have to create your account. Okay. So you're going to when you go onto that bergencatholic.powerschool.com, you'll click create account. Okay. So rather than signing in, you'll click create account. Okay. You'll click create account on the bottom. And then it's going to ask you some questions. Your first name, last name, email address, what you want to use for username. This is all stuff that you will choose. Okay? This is all stuff that you will choose. All right? This is not anything that we've assigned. Okay? The first part of this for the parents is what you choose. The second part, once you fill all this stuff out, the second part, okay, is where you'll see that access ID and access password on the email that I sent this afternoon. That's where you'll plug in and link to your son. Okay? And that ID and password are case sensitive. Okay? You have to put them in exactly as you see them on that sheet. And then that will give you access as a parent to PowerSchool. Okay? So again, let me just go back real quick. If you're a parent, bergencatholic.powerschool.com, same address for both. But if you're a parent, you're going to create account. Click create account. Fill in your desired information on the left-hand side. And then on the right, and on the top half of the page, the second part will be where you'll link to your son's account. Okay? So you'll put in the access ID and password that you received in the email today. You received an email from me with that information. Okay? Now again, if it doesn't work, not a big deal. We've got the help desk, and I know I'll make sure that Frank and Eamon, it's been a long day. Frank and Eamon, I don't know where Ethan even came from. Eamon, Frank and Eamon will stay on, and if you have problems, we'll make sure we get through them. It's not a big deal. And again, we're doing this early enough. I don't have stuff to release to you on PowerSchool, but you'll have the access. So when we do release it, you're ready to go. All right. So once you get on to PowerSchool, this is what you'll see, and I've kind of had to hide some of the information, but you'll see this navigation pane on the left-hand side. You'll have some of these icons. You may not have all of them. Okay. The ones that I want to highlight right now, school information will give you all of your, at the moment, some of your account information. Now, this one is kind of full. This has, I don't think I shared, we didn't do your network and printing stuff yet. We haven't done Blackboard yet. Your parent Naviance registration code will be on there. Your email address. I don't think we assigned counselors yet. So this stuff will fill in throughout the summer. Okay, so this will be your one repository where you'll see, as long as you get into PowerSchool, you'll be able to get your account information for all your other stuff. Okay, so that's your school info. All right, that's important. Grades and attendance. I forget what I have active right now. You're not going to see grades and attendance. You're not going to see grade history or attendance. That's all stuff for during the school year. Okay, but that'll allow you to keep track of your daily attendance. You keep track of your grades, and we'll spend some time at the end of the summer talking about how you see where you look for assignments and what you see where. Okay, I don't want to go crazy tonight. Okay, because a lot of it is we're dealing a little bit in hypothetical because it's not all there yet. All right, the next one that'll be really important is that class registration link on the left hand side. You don't see it yet because I have it hidden. But eventually, I'm hoping within a week or so, we'll be able to release your placements. All right, what that'll look like is this. Okay, I'm a big Brad Thor fan. I've had Scott Harbath has been around a while, but this is what your courses, your average courses, will look like for next year. So everybody's, for the most part, you'll have 11. Your 6 core areas and then your general period stuff, which again, we'll talk about that later on in the summer. But when I last checked today, everybody, unless you were like a real late registrant, everybody's already been placed. Okay, minus I'd say about 10 people that were real late to the game and say the last maybe month or so. But everybody else has been placed. You're ready to go. When we release that, this is what you'll see. Okay, these are the classes that I'm going to take. I don't know your teachers yet. I don't know your section and all that stuff or your room, but this is what you'll see. If you're not sure about a placement, if something seems off, the appropriate person is the department chair to talk to. Okay, the appropriate department chair in the course where you're looking for more information. Okay. So that, like I said, I'm hoping in the next week, which gets us right to before the 4th of July holiday. We'll get that out to you. All right, and then, like I said, probably the last Tech Tuesday we do in August, we will do a how to do the schedule and how to read the schedule. So there's no issues. Okay. So that's PowerSchool. I will, if you have questions on that, certainly if you want to ask them right now, go right ahead. If you want to reach out, let me just make sure that my AirPods are, yep. If you want to reach out, that's fine. But that's going to be, for the moment, that's going to be it for PowerSchool. And again, you'll use this a lot more during the school year. You can download the mobile app and all that. Okay. So, and as you're Eamon and Frank, as you're watching this, if you want to reach out to some of those that are hit them privately, to make sure that they're getting on. Okay. So the other thing that I want to talk about, just to make you aware of, is Naviance. Right. Naviance is our college and career readiness software. We've been using it for, now it's got to be going on, got to be close to 10 years. They are one of the standards for electronic application submission. They hold all your test data. It's pretty much your go-to for college. And Eamon and Frank will tell you they've become intimately familiar with Naviance in the last couple of years. For people my age, I had the Barron's book when I went to college. I had a big, thick book about this big, and that's where we looked up information about college. We went to the library and had to look in the book. But these guys are lucky. Everything is really at their fingertips. So what's nice about Naviance this year is that for students, it's single sign-on, right? So you don't need an account and a password for Naviance if you're a student, okay? There's two ways to get into Naviance. I'll show you the more difficult way, then I'll show you the easy way. So you can go to the homepage for Naviance, which is student.naviance.com/BergenCHS. Okay. You can click on student, right, because you are a student. And then it's going to say continuous single sign-on. Okay. And also, I just happen to see some in the chat. Make sure you privately tell us who you are, because I don't know if you don't have your name on the Zoom. I don't know who you are. So Eamon or Frank can reach out to that person privately. So you continue with single sign-on, and once you click single sign-on, it's going to ask you, if you're not signed in with your Bergen email address, it's going to prompt you to sign in with your Bergen email address. Okay? If you've already signed into your browser with your Bergen email address, you'll get right into Naviance. Okay? That home screen looks like that. Okay? Now, if you want to do a shortcut, real easy. Sign into Gmail, right? Sign into your Bergen Catholic email address. Okay? Pick the app launcher, which is the 9 dots on the top right, and then scroll down till you see Naviance. Okay? Click on Naviance. Okay? Click on Naviance, and it'll open right up for you. Okay? So that might be easier than going to the website. Eventually, the Blackboard that's up there now is our test site, which you won't have access to. But the Naviance is up and live. Okay? Not much you'll be able to do with it except explore and kind of, take a look and see what's there. But that's how you get on. It's going to be single sign-on. And eventually Blackboard will be too, once we convert our host in July. So, really easy. Okay? Now, if you're a parent, whoops, wrong keyboard. You'll go to that same address. Okay, the parent's a little bit more complicated. You go to the same address, but you're new and need to register. Okay, so you're new and need to register. You'll click I'm new and need to register. You'll enter the registration code. Now, if you go down to PowerSchool, it's on the school info page of PowerSchool. It's also on the email that I sent out. I do want to say, if you did not provide us with an email address, then you didn't get today's email. All of your sons got that email because it went to every Bergen, it went to every student account. Okay, so all your sons got the email. Okay, parents is going to depend on what information you provided to us. Okay. So when you have that code, either from the email or from the school info page on PowerSchool, you'll put the code under registration code. You'll copy and paste it or type it in. All right, and once it accepts that, you'll click register, and then it'll ask you to put in your email address. Okay, it's got to be a unique email address. So those of you that have older sons, eventually, we can try and combine, but for right now, to get on, you're going to need a different email address. We could always change it, but you're going to need a different email address because Naviance is particular about that that email address has to be unique per account. Okay? So once you put in that email address, it's going to ask you to create a password. And these are Naviance's requirements for passwords. Also keep in mind, Naviance changed their password requirements a couple years ago that we cannot see your passwords. We can change them. We can't change them. We can start the process for you to reset it. Okay, but they've become a little bit more stringent with what the school sees. It's not just us, it's everybody. Right, and then once you've created that password, that's it. You're in. Okay. Now, what you'll be starting in the fall as students, you'll be working on. There's a college counseling curriculum that Miss Walter, who's our assistant principal for student services, will talk about in July. She'll talk about that curriculum and kind of a little bit about what you'll see in Naviance. Okay, so again, you kind of get a head start on what you're looking at. Okay, so regardless if you're a student or a parent, this is the home screen for Naviance. Okay, so once you get on, you'll see that. Okay. Okay. So not a lot, not a lot of information. A lot and a little. Okay. Good news is it's June 22nd. We've got more than 2 months to get you all squared away. Okay. So first thing, we can't have anybody panic. Okay. We're doing this in drips and drabs. Okay. To make sure that you're good to go. All right. As I've said to you, and I'll kind of say it probably till I'm blue in the face, you have to ask the help desk questions. If you have questions or something's not working right, please reach out. Don't wait until, Labor Day weekend. I can't see my schedule, or even better, the first day of school. Reach out. Let us get everything squared away. Okay. If you need to come in, that's fine. These guys will work with you. Whoever's in the office will be able to work with you. If you have a question or, something's not working right, or you just, you don't feel comfortable, bring it in and we'll take a look. Okay. But the point for tonight is I need you to be, your takeaways for tonight are get on PowerSchool. Okay. Students and parents, and then also get on Naviance. There's nothing more you have to do once you get on, but I just want you to be able to get on. So then, if, when we release the course placements, and I'm hoping it should be about a week or so. Don't hold me to that, but I'm hoping that's where we are. You just can get right on and do it. You can get right on and look. Okay. I'm looking at the chat. Computer bundles are in transit, so we're getting stuff in drips and drabs. Once we have everything, we'll prep it. My target is right around the 20th of July or so. That's where I'm hoping for. Ideally, it's sooner, but we need at least 2 weeks once we get everything to inventory them, asset tag them, do what we have to do with them. So, and then once we're ready, we will start distribution. We won't hold them. We're going to get them out to you. If you are bringing one or both of your own devices, you're going to make an appointment with Mr. Burles to bring them in. I just want him to give you to give them a quick once over, make sure they're okay, and then we'll collect them and we'll do what we have to. It's not a same day turnaround. Okay. Then we'll get those ready for you as well. what I'm going to do, I'm assuming, based on what I've seen in the chat, there's probably a few people that haven't gotten anything, but it seems like there's been most people that got the email from Today with their credentials. I can certainly, if you send me privately the email that you didn't get, we can make sure that they're in, PowerSchool. When for the parents that have ordered both devices, again, we're looking around July 20th. Okay, if you ordered both, that's my target. Okay, now I've also supposed to get a shipment of MacBooks on Thursday. Now, a lot could happen between now and Thursday that could delay that shipment. Hopefully next week we'll be able to start. If we have everything, we're ready to go, we can start on it. So it depends on Apple's lead time. And then what I should mention too is once we only release the device once it's been paid for. Okay, so again, in your July billing on TADS, you'll have a line item for your laptop, and once you've paid that, then we can release it to you. Okay, we can't release it if you haven't paid. All right. At this point, questions that I can answer about PowerSchool, about Naviance, about devices. What can I possibly answer for you? I can. Well, you can drop them off pretty much whenever is convenient. We're not going to get to them right away because we'll do them in a bunch when we start working on the other machines. The last day you could drop them off safely, I mean, the absolute drop dead would be August 1st. And ideally we want them before then because we don't, if we run into a problem, we want to make sure you're ready to go for the start of the school year. I ideally would like them by July 15th to be safe. Okay. So it's not something that you can, if you bring your devices on August 30th, most likely they won't be ready for the first day of school. Okay. So the sooner you get them to us, the sooner we can prep them and get them ready for you. Okay. Nope. We're going to wipe it. We'll wipe it and update it and do what we have to do. So you need to back up your data, but you don't need to erase it because we'll take care of all that. We're gonna wipe the device. We're totally going. Yeah, we're gonna totally wipe the device. So yeah, you'll have to back up anything that's on there. Okay. Other questions that I can answer. Put that back up so I can see. Not contain a bill for device, or at least not my bill. Can we check to assure we're all set up correctly? As long as the July billing, I don't know if we started working on that. We started, I think, today. So if you don't see anything, you will see it on your July bill, and then I'd say hopefully in the next 2 or 3 days. I'm scrolling through some of the questions. I did not get a login on a parent. Supposed to get an email. Login information was sent to every student and every email address that we have on file. If we did not have your email address, then you did not get login information. Okay. I think I forget. I didn't put them on the PowerSchool page. Certainly, if you want, you can reach out to. Let me just. You know what? Let me do this. Let me pin. I think I can pin Eamon and Frank. Okay, so these are the two that are handling your help desk queries. If you have any questions about If you didn't get information, send an email to the help desk at Bergen Catholic because they can both see that, and then they can respond back to you. They'll respond back to you tonight with information. Okay. Again, I know there was a decent number of people that I didn't see emails for when I was looking, but it looks like there were some. People got it, but okay. Looking for specific the MacBook model. I think I have that. Let me pull up the last Tech Tuesday because it's in those slides. Let me just go over here real quick. Give me 1 second because I can put that up on the screen for you. Let's see. Tech Tuesday. Gotta spell Tuesday right. Okay. 6/8. And let's go. Where's my device slide? Here's my device slide. Let me present that. Okay, and that's number 3. Okay, so while Frank and Eamon are still pinned, actually, let me unpin you guys for a minute. I'll bring you back. There's the devices for next year. It's a 13-inch MacBook Air, which is the 2020 model, and the iPad 10.2-inch. What I will tell you, as I said last time, is that you will not be able to get the 4 years of AppleCare Plus from the store. Eamon and Frank, just put the help desk email in the chat, please. You won't be able to get that from the store. Okay. It's probably, this is the second year we've probably had one of the best deals ever from Apple in terms of the damage protection on the devices. Okay. So those are the devices that for next year. If you are bringing your own, those are the specs. Oh, excuse me, that's the specs for option 1. If you're bringing your own, generally a MacBook that 2016 or later is fine. As long as I can get Big Sur on it, it's fine. And it really should have a solid state hard drive. Okay, some of the older pros I know don't have solid state. It makes a world of difference. Okay, very important. It's a solid state hard drive. All right. Let me scroll through and see if we have any other questions. Put myself back up so you can see me. Yeah, Duke is not impressed with tonight's presentation. We're actually lucky he's not snoring. Okay. Anybody else with questions that I can answer or I can attempt to answer? Yes. Only if it's not a. I mean, it should be a USB-C. If it's USB-C, that's fine. Or if it's the older, if it's older, a MacBook with the magnetic charger, that's fine too. We have those. But if it's the iPad is a Lightning wire. It's not USB-C. So the iPad what? I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, but that still should be. If you're unsure, just bring the charger. That's fine. But make sure you label everything, okay? Because we can't. If something happens, we don't want to. Spend a day looking for something. Okay, so make sure everything is labeled. If you're bringing your own devices to drop them off, everything has to be labeled. Okay. The Technology Support Center. When you come into the main office, they'll direct you where to go. The Technology Support Center is where you're going to go. You've probably seen it if you've been on the tour. There's a window in the end of what we call the senior hallway. If you are as old as I am, it used to be the bookstore. Okay, if you're an alum and you're as old as I am, it was the bookstore. where Brother Kelly used to roam. So if you're not, okay, but if you are, then you know where it is. 8 to 1, Monday through Thursday. Correct. And that'll be until August, I think 15th or so, 14th, somewhere around there. The last 2 weeks of August, we're in for later. We're in more of a full day. But we've got people in the office every day in the tech support center that are available to help you. Other questions I could answer? Let me go back to the chat room. Okay. There will be from what I understand, there will be a line item. It'll show up in. I haven't seen it from the user side, but from what I understand, there's I believe it's kind of like a shopping cart. So you'll see different. You'll be billed certain things. There'll be a tuition, then there'll be if there's other fees you have to pay, and it'll show up as a billable charge. It's not in yet. I think, and if it is, everybody was defaulted to the full 1,500. We have to go through and change the people that are bringing one or both of their own devices. All right, but I will. I'm going to reach out. Hold on. Let me make a note to ask my good friend Mr. Hirschmugel tomorrow about. Hold on. Let's just minimize that. And let me just put my to-do list up so I don't forget. Okay. Yeah, I will, and I could put something out to everybody. The TADs, your choice of your device preference was a Google form. You will ultimately pay for that choice in TADs. Okay, so you'll pay for either option 1, which is the full 1,500, or option 2, 3, or 4, which is some or none. So if you're bringing both your devices, you'll see that laptop charge or device charge will be 0. Okay, and if it's I don't, that's not something that I do directly, but I'll make sure that if it's we can kind of expedite that and get that up there, so you see the charge. Okay. I just saw, what do you do with, you have twins? Well, I have twins too, but mine are boy and girl, so I'll have one at Bergen, one at IHA. You have twins. I can add, if you send an email to the help desk, and then we can combine your account. We'll put twin number 2 on twin number 1's, so it's only one account. That I know we can do. Each student, independent PowerSchool, independent parent account. That's true. But yeah, we'll be able to send that email. Frank's right, but we can. I haven't done it in a while, but I know there's a way we can combine them. I haven't done it in a while. What else? Other questions that I can answer. This is really, it's more of you getting what you need as opposed to me just talking. So what else can I answer for you? Anybody? Well, if not, let me just make sure that I hit everything that I wanted to. Let me go back to my other slides. Oh, that's the one more thing I did want to say. So let's put that up in current slide. Give that a second, and then let's go. That is camera 3. I'll put myself on the bottom there. These are our remaining Tech Tuesdays. Okay, we're going to be on hiatus for about a month, only because between the 4th of July and whatnot. Now, if we get devices done sooner than I expect, we might be able to move up some of the dates. But I left, the Apple IDs and the e-textbooks till the end of the summer, only because e-textbooks are always volatile with students with schedules and whatnot. Apple IDs we could probably move up. Because again, it's ideal once you have your device, but we might be able to move around these a little bit. But Blackboard is where it is because on the 16th we're going to convert to our new host for Blackboard, and it'll look a little bit different. So you'll be getting, you'll see what it looks like, and how to get on, and we'll talk about that. But you won't see any classes yet. So again, it'll be kind of like an empty shell, but you'll at least know how to get on. So when we do release that stuff, you'll be able to get on there, okay, and see your classes and whatnot. And we'll have 3 in August. And certainly, if it's not hard for me to run one of these. So if we if we kind of get peppered with questions and there's stuff that we may need to go over again, we could certainly add another one to the calendar. Even though it might be on a Wednesday, we could still have Tech Tuesday on a Wednesday. But certainly we can do this kind of stuff because it's not it's not hard for me, and I know that Duke is available, so we're good. Any other questions that I can answer? I know we will get the recording out to you. I might have to record the first minute again because I think I hit the record button a little bit late, but I'll get this out to you hopefully. Mr. Rose will send it out if he's got anything else to go out to you. But we'll get that out to you. It will appear once we make it live. It'll be on the YouTube channel, and you have the playlist address for that. So Frank and Eamon and myself will be the last to go. So if you have any questions, will any of this be reviewed at the beginning of the school year from a student perspective? Yeah, we're going to the first part of this is really access, is getting on all the different, getting access to the different systems. So what we'll do is once your schedule's in place, we'll go over how to look at PowerSchool. Okay. And pretty much what I might do, what I do is I do provide for the parents at back to school night, something similar to this, but I might also do something for the students in addition to what we do orientation wise. I might do, the same session. The same kind of thing, and just what I would cover at orientation, but just as a review prior to that, the first day, because you're, like I said, you're seeing everything, but you're seeing things that you don't see a schedule yet, you don't see classes yet, because we're in summer mode. But yeah, I can certainly to do this is easy. It's just a Zoom, so I don't have a problem doing this at all. Because again, my goal is that you walk in the door. You know what you need. You have what you need. Okay, you have the tools that you need to be successful. All right. If there's no other questions, like I said, we'll hang out if there are any. But other than that, then I wish you a good night. We'll see you in July. And if you have any questions, again, please feel free to reach out to the help desk, and we'll get back to you as quick as we can. Thanks for joining the call tonight. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you. Let's put these 2 guys back up here. Nope, wrong one. And we will remove pin. Yes. No, because you're registering for a different. It's a different school altogether, so there won't be an issue. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. You too. So I'm going to stop the stream at this point.